Go. Okay. All right. Get Gail in here. Art, Cahoon, Steve Mendo, Kim Gray, Ken. Yes. Rob. DJ. Okay, who do I got so far? Okay, there's J-Mac. Okay, hold on, J-Mac. Time Bandit. Okay, my baby was wrong. Let me see if I can get Gail in here. Here we go. All right. Kristen, Kathleen, Peter, hello. All right, trying to get. Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Feliz. All right. Feliz means like happy. Feliz cumpleaños, like, you know, when you say happy birthday. So yeah. Happy Cinco de Mayo. All right, I'm gonna get J-Mac in here. See if I can get this going. I know it's always like a kind of a to-do at the beginning here, rounding everybody up, getting everybody to join. Here he is.
¿Qué pasó, hermano?
¿Qué pasó? Saludos.
Hello, Gail.
You guys are ahead of me.
Cream Soda Town Club.
Pepsi Zero and lime.
Very nice. Very nice.
Delicious.
And then let me see here if I can get. Well, I don't have. I could find Brandon. Okay, so I invited Brandon. Should be coming in soon. Hopefully he's there. Nice.
He's a pro with this. There he is.
There he is. Okay, there we go.
Brandon.
All right.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Good evening.
Hello.
Great.
Good evening. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo, mi amigo.
Everybody speaks Spanish today.
I know,
Very
right?
little.
Very
little.
Una más cerveza, por favor.
There we go.
Saludos.
That's the most important phrase right there.
Yeah. ¿Dónde es baño? Where is the bathroom? That's it.
Right here.
Over there. All right. Yeah, so good. We got quite a bit of people in here. So what we're going to do is everybody introduce themselves, and then Gail, we'll just kind of, you know, go from there, get into the questions and everything. So Angelo, by the way, hi.
Hi.
Guys, go ahead. Huh?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I am Brandon Hay, or Brandon Shaves.
And I'm Justin, a.k.a. J-Mac, from the Canadian Mafia Show. Pleased to meet you, Gail.
Nice to meet you. So I'm Gail Wells. I'm the U.S. brand manager for Edwin Jagger. And as you probably know, we manufacture wet shaving products, razors, brushes, bowls, etc. So do you guys have a question, or you just want me to go?
No. So yeah, we got the introduction, so thank you. That was awesome. So yeah, I mean, go ahead. I mean, how did you get started into doing this and representing an amazing company?
Well, it's fun, it's great, and you know, when you manage the best product in the world, it's easy. So I owned a showroom in the Dallas Market Center, and that's where retailers go to purchase product for their shops. And I had a bath and body care line that had a shaving component in it, which was a very small component. And a major department store called me and they said they thought I was a shaving guru. And I'm like, yes, I am. I just didn't tell them any different, that I had no idea what I was talking about. And they asked me to create a boutique shaving area within this chain of 281 stores.
Oh.
Yes. So I made the presentation and they said, that's kind of not really what we're thinking. And I began to figure out that these two women didn't really know what they wanted because they didn't know anything about wet shaving. So which meant I knew more than they did already. So I found Edwin Jagger and sent an email, and I didn't hear back for a little bit. And so I called and I told the person who answered the phone, I said, I'm in Texas in the United States, and I have this chain of 281 stores who want to bring in a shaving component, and I would like to speak to someone. She transfers me, and so I make my pitch to this gentleman who answers the phone, and I'm all that because I'm in Texas, and I have this big showroom, and I've got 281 doors that are interested. And so I got through with my pitch, and I said, now, just who are you? And I thought she'd just transferred me to someone in the marketing department. And there was this pregnant pause. He says, I am Neil Edwin Jagger. Okay, well, maybe I'm just not all that. So that's how I got into it, and I had to learn it. I didn't know what a Badger brush was. I didn't, and I had the gentleman whose brand I repped had been in the industry, in the fragrance industry for many years, and he was instrumental in helping me. So that's how I got into it. And that
Very
was
cool.
15 years ago.
Wow. So you've been a long time then.
I have, yeah. I've been in the wholesale industry 30 years.
Ooh.
I started when I was 10.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Long-term professional. I love it. I love it.
That's right.
No, that is just awesome. And it's just then to get just put boom right into the mix of it on the phone with with Mr. Jagger is just that's just awesome.
So when he and I were speaking back and forth, so I told my showroom manager, who was a little bit older, and I said, now Neil Jagger is going to call me. It's on the landline. And I said, and when he calls me, you need to come get me because I have to take this call. So she yells at me. She goes, is that Rick guy's brother? And I said, well, no, that would be Mick, and they're not brothers.
Loosely may be related. We don't know.
Yeah.
It might be.
But not so much.
Same country, but a little bit different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
J-Mac, go ahead, man.
All right. Well, maybe a bit of a softball, but right off the bat, what would you say is the best-selling product for Edwin Jagger on the North American market?
That's easy. It's the DE89 for sure. It's a workhorse. It's a great razor. The weight is right. Yep. It looks like I can't see if you got.
Mine's up in the den, but
okay. And
mine's up in the den, but I have one too. So
that's a smooth chrome. Yep. The DE89. That's it. I mean, guys own dozens of them.
it's a great razor. I have the barley handled one. Really like it.
I love the barley. The barley and the knurled are my favorites.
Yeah. Little fancier.
Mm-hmm.
Little fancier.
A little texture there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So are you a traditional wet shaver yourself?
I do occasionally. It's sort of like I'm just around it so much that I've got, I can just go I have like tons of samples. But right now I have like 3 razors in my shower. And so I do occasionally. It just kind of depends on what kind of time I have.
Cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, because, of the 3 of us, and probably I would say probably 80% of the viewers know exactly, who Edwin Jagger is and everything and the brand. But in case there's anybody viewing and anybody out there that does not know, But I mean, just like a brief kind of overview, you know, the brand, a little bit of the history with Edwin Jagger.
Sure. So Anil Jagger is a trained silversmith, and he was working as a silversmith and purchased a safety razor, and it fell apart almost immediately. And he said, well, I can do better than this. So he made a safety razor in his basement, started using it and talking about it to his friends. And then he started placing orders, and they started placing orders, and their friends started placing orders. And so he was suddenly in the safety razor business, and got to the point he was making them, you know, and had employees in his basement. And he said, well, you know, we're going to have to expand beyond that. But he's a really interesting guy. He is very, as you can imagine, detailed. He's grown the company. Nothing is without very specific plan. I'm kind of like, I can run around with my hair on fire and go, yeah, let's do this trade show. I can do it next week. No, I don't know. Everything is well planned. He's very creative. He's always creating. He's always got a sketchbook with him. And, you know, fast forward, he's got a factory with 2 buildings and 40 employees and trained master crafters and high-tech equipment, as well as old world techniques that are still used today.
So he mixes the old and the new.
Absolutely.
That is awesome.
Right, for sure. There's a lot of handwork that goes into it. People don't realize that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, when you grab any one of these, you know, you put them in your hands, you can see the attention to detail.
Absolutely.
That's there. I mean, I've just one of the ones I don't own yet, and more than likely I probably will be owning one by the end of the night. So,
Oh, you will.
I know they're just all so beautiful. I don't know which one to get, but yeah, I mean, it's just every single one just to me just screams elegance. So yeah, it'd be very hard to even have to decide.
Oh, a pink one. There you go.
Yeah. So
Barley gold.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got the shimmer to it.
Oh, okay. That's that iridescent pink. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and
I
it's,
find that you will be happiest if you get all of them.
I think Jason would be happy as well if I just rocked out just every single.
You would cry
every
if you
single
just saw
one of
me
these.
have the razors.
I mean, you can't just have 1 or 2 razors.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Who does that?
Not me.
It's crazy.
Not me.
Not me either.
Let me see here. Yeah. So, J-Mac, go ahead, bud.
What are some of the biggest challenges that you may find now in moving the brand forward, especially, you know, as wet shaving is kind of it's turned more like from a hobby into an industry, so with a lot of competition. So what would be some of the challenges that Edwin Jagger would face right now?
You know, and first of all, we don't have any competition as far as we're concerned. When you're the best, I would say, obviously, when COVID hit, there were a lot of challenges there, and a supply chain was one of them. And you'd have a supplier call and just say, we're, you know, not making that component for you anymore. We're closing our factory. We're going to make something else. And it's taken a while to recover from that. For me, as a salesperson, it's a little bit challenging to try to introduce wet shaving to someone who's unfamiliar with it.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand that it's very difficult to explain the difference in the shave that you get. And guys will say, well, I can buy one online for this club that sells them for $1. And I said, you know, this is the center of your universe right here. This is the first thing everyone sees. This is what they make their judgment on. And if you want to drag a razor across your face that costs $1, be my guest.
A dull razor at that.
A dull razor.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why you need 4 or 5 blades.
Yes.
That are all equally as dull.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm not sure they're really, about 5 years ago, I'm sure you guys will remember this, wet shaving just exploded. It was crazy. And and I think we were still on a trajectory when COVID hit. I mean, I was about to go to Big Shave West in Phoenix. And so it's it's leveled out a little bit, but safety razors and brushes are still super, super popular.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and some of the besides the razors, oh my gosh. I mean, yeah. Some of these babies here. Again, just elegant. Very, very elegant. I mean, this is, to me, they're showpieces. So
you want to see some brushes?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Do we want to see?
Let
Come
the
on.
enabling begin.
Okay, so one of the things that when I first started repping the brand, that was a challenge. I didn't have everything in the line in my showroom. So, I mean, there are over 800 SKUs in the Edwin Jagger collection.
Wow.
And so, I had to literally set product on a table side by side and go, okay, what's the difference in this? Because I was in the United States. I had no one to really teach me and all. Neil Jagger is really, really good about very detailed emails. But so just as an example, so this is a Best Badger brush.
Mm-hmm.
So the shape of this Best Badger brush, every Best brush is this shape. So I don't have to look at the grade of brush, or all I have to look at is the handle, and I know this is a Best Badger brush.
Right.
Yeah. So this is a super. See, it's a little bit different, and this is obviously loaded with synthetic. So a couple of years ago, probably like 3 years ago, we started moving away. There was a trend to move away from Badger, and PETA was making a big production about it. So this is a synthetic. It's a super synthetic. It's a beautiful brush. It's super soft, and it dries really fast.
Nice.
So, and this is a silver tip. This shape will always be a silver tip. And so this is a medium, let's get that in there. So this is a medium size Best, and this is a large silver tip. So the sizes don't always, one doesn't transfer to the other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is this brush, that is a medium silver tip. And this one is a large.
So what is that, like oxhorn, or like, what is that?
No, that's a great question. We call these horn. These are resin.
Okay.
Which is much harder than plastic. You had, I think that ivory brush you held up.
Oh, this guy.
Yes. That's a plastic handle, and that is a synthetic fill.
Okay. And then this.
And that's a synthetic fill, and that's a resin brush.
Okay.
Which is much, much harder than plastic.
Yeah. Definitely feel the difference in weight,
Right.
too, especially with this on top here too. It has some nice weight. Ooh, I like
all these brushes are all hand filled and tied.
Angelo, you're gonna have to open a line of credit with Jason.
I already have an
already
outgoing
does.
one. I'm about ready to just hand him the keys to my car.
I don't know if that's
Tied
enough.
it over.
Probably not. Brandon, go ahead, bud.
So, any new product innovations going on right now that
Funny,
you can
you
share?
should ask. I have. So I got this information this morning from Neil Edwin Jagger. So are you familiar with the 316 razor?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So perfect. So that's steel razor. That's 316 steel, manufactured in Sheffield. Everything in that razor is manufactured in Sheffield. And so the new razor that's coming out, I'll see if you can see this. These are, I'll get a little closer. So
Nice.
these are also 316 razors. And they come in multiple colors. And
Ooh, green.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And that's like a gunmetal gray. And those, so the top the cap and the collar and the base are all, and I don't have one of these because they're not in the States yet. So the cap, the collar, and the base are the 316, and then the center, the color, is the resin. Is it? I got to get this word right. It's high density extruded resin.
That'll be this part here.
Right.
Okay.
That's the color, and the price point will be lower than the full steel.
Mm-hmm.
It will be around 105 to 110 retail.
Okay.
Will you still offer like this one here? Well,
Absolutely.
right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In case anybody wants like a full,
right.
like,
Those are definitely available.
yeah. Okay. Had one question in the comments. So let's say if I have this razor, right? Mm-hmm. But let's say I, instead of buying extra razors, but I want this handle. Can people have one head and buy just the handles?
No.
Okay.
The heads are the head is all the heads are the same.
Okay.
But you can't buy one without the other.
Correct. Everything is a head is sold with the handle.
That's good. You can buy more.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay, because people ask that. That's what I was asking.
Right.
Yeah, because then if you have the pink one, you're like, well, that was mine. Yeah. So.
So there is one more new thing that I also found out today, and I'm very excited about this because I've been having people ask me about it for a long time, and I want your viewers to tune in or chime in rather. Edwin Jagger is introducing hair care product later in the year.
Oh, nice.
So it will be pomades, gels, lotions, etc. I've asked if they're going to have shampoo and conditioner. I don't know the answer to that yet. So if your viewers have an opinion, what do they want? Just let us know.
Okay.
We're interested in what they have to say.
Well, Brandon, you have probably some of the most beautiful hair that I've seen, so you'd probably have to chime in on this one. I don't really have much. And J-Mac, you got some nice hair, so.
I mean, there's always need for different types of shampoos, conditioners, and especially after post grooming products, pomades, waxes, clays. There's a lot of clays out there. A lot of people are going for kind of the matte finish now versus the pomades, which tend to have a little more glossy effect. So I mean, there's a lot of clay out there. I've got this is kind of one of the big ones right now. Hans de Foucault Claymation, which is a clay product that's got a touch of like dry shampoo in it, which gives it kind of a little grip that helps hold a little bit longer. That's one of the nice things out there. This is a full clay right here that also has some of that in there, which gives a lot of hold, but extremely matte. I think there's a lot of matte. Everything used to be kind of shiny, kind of the kind of slick back look, and now people are going with a little more of the natural type of shine or natural matte.
I've sold pomades before, and they do really well. I'm very happy about this.
Yeah, it's a good place to go. A lot of more people, a lot of more guys are kind of caring about their hair than kind of previously. So I think that's a good way to go.
Excellent, good.
And then Crystal said, my wife, because there's a lot of people that do just unscented, so like no scents, so like an unscented product.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
In Edwin Jagger's products, all their skincare products are really super lightly scented, and people will smell it and they'll go, well, I can hardly smell that. Well, that's kind of the point.
Right.
You don't want to load your face with scent while you're shaving. And then the aftershave, you don't want that. Our aftershave is more of a balm, and you don't want that to fight with your fragrance. Yeah. But that's a good point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then somebody also asked, so there's, you said like body care and hair care?
Not body care that I know of.
Okay.
But if that sounds interesting, because I think a lotion would be great.
Yeah.
A moisturizing lotion.
Yeah. Especially like, well, all of us were in northern states and then JMax in Canada. So, I mean, yeah, especially in the wintertime, dryness, oh my gosh.
Right.
I mean, just, yeah. Bathe in the stuff.
I moved from Houston, so I have the opposite problem.
Yes. You just leak moisture all day long.
That's a great way to put it.
I grew up in Memphis, and I've got a lot of family in Fort Worth, so I feel your pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got family Memphis, Houston, San Antonio, Mercedes. Like anywhere in Texas, you throw a stone, probably hit one of my cousins. So.
Well, you did well populating there.
Yeah. So let me check out these viewer questions now. We got a few here. Okay. Steve Mendel. Since Steve Areno is having a great Kentucky Oats Day, I would like to give away a $25 gift card. All right, Steve Mendel.
Steve,
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
Did he say two or $2.25? Oh, wow, Steve.
Whoa.
Now, you were making him extra
Yeah, I'm
generous.
like,
I know.
Good thing I don't have a giveaway tonight. I will be giving away this.
The curtains. Okay.
That would be a lot less money.
I don't know. They do look nice. And then let me see here. Art Shaves. He's got two questions. One, is there a straight razor selection? And then we all want to know, what is the king shaving with tomorrow? Ooh. Which is the king? I know. Who's the king, Art?
King Charles, his coronation's tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what we have to know. That's to be some nice inside kind of tip there.
I assume someone will be doing it for him.
one with
Never know.
Great question about straight razors. Edwin Jagger used to produce straight razors, and they produced the blades. And I actually still have one. But the issue with that is on the radar. Don't expect it anytime soon, because the way Neil Jagger works is he will literally create the machinery to make those blades. And right now it doesn't exist. So you'll have to find someone to literally create the machinery.
I mean, because as we all know, Sheffield puts out some tremendous steel.
That's where I was going to go with that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ain't no steel like Sheffield steel. So.
Right.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh.
So
yeah, that would be.
And speaking of straight razors, so remember the Bond movie where the one of the girls shaved him?
Mm-hmm.
That was all Edwin Jagger product.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yes.
That was
Edwin Jagger straight razor, a brush, a bowl, everything.
Because did it have this chrome trim on the
Pardon?
top? I think didn't it have this like chrome piece on the top?
No,
I don't remember.
I think he was using. No, it definitely wasn't that. It was. I think it was either I think it was an ivory brush. Memory serves me.
Kind of like this.
I think so.
Be like this, but with a badger fill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was Casino Royale, wasn't it?
I think so. That was an iconic scene. Very iconic scene.
And straight razors sales skyrocketed by literally 5,000% after that movie.
They did. I remember that.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. Yeah, I would love to see this kind of, like I said, just that Edwin Jagger elegance that we all know and love, and in a straight razor.
Yeah, it will be exquisite.
Yeah, I can just imagine. Or even like other people saying too, like also in a
Skyfall. There you go.
Yeah, Skyfall.
A
Chevette also, a Chevette. So let me see who else we got here. Yep, so that was Peter, Shaven Cyclist, had that at straight razor. Plans to produce one with Sheffield steel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be Sheffield steel for sure.
So here's kind of something, and this was, I think, before my time. Only been in the game for about 2 years, but Zenmen Shaves asked, what was the link between Mula and?
You don't have to finish that. I know what's coming.
Like I said, this was before me, so.
Yeah. So there was never really a link that got out there, and we don't really know why or where it came from. So the question is, because it got out there that Mula and Edwin Jagger were manufacturing in the same factory, and they were not, and they never were. They are friendly, for sure. And yeah, they are friendly competitors. They have a different business model. And I have met the guy who runs Mula. And so, no, there's no connection.
Okay.
I knew that would come. It always comes up. It always comes up.
This is before me, so.
Yeah, that's okay. I knew it was coming. So.
Because the DE89 and the R89 head look awfully close.
Well, they were kind of invented at the same time, just about.
Okay.
Perfect.
Let me see who else we got there. Ian, amazing gentleman. My birthday is the 17th. Now I need to decide what color that I need to order for in a DE89.
You know what? There are a lot of colors that they introduced some new colors last year. Yeah, I'll show you this real quick.
That one there. That one there. Ian, I think you get
this
this
is
one.
a good representation. There's gray. Let's see. Gray, green, blue, maroon, and red.
Wow. Yeah, that green got my name on it.
And these are all the extra long. And then they're doing the green, the blue, the maroon, and the red, and then just the regular length. That's that bottom row there.
Wow. So will that be like these two differences as far as handle length?
Yes. Yeah. The pink one is the extra long.
Okay. There we go. All right. So there's your differences right there. So nice. Very nice. J-Mac, go ahead, bud. You got something?
Any plans to redesign the DE89 head, or is that kind of like a staple? It's never gonna be changed, or besides like the 316, because I think that one was a little bit different as well. So
it won't be redesigned. Neil doesn't share with me what he's working on. It's all that's proprietary information. Like somebody asked me what the blade gap was on the 316. Well, that's proprietary information. That's not going to be shared. So the DE89 will stay. If anything, there would be a new introduction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But the 316, it took several years to produce. It took once the design was complete, it took a long, because that was all new machining.
Yeah.
Right. It would be. Yeah.
Yeah. Like even the base plate. Completely different between the two.
Right.
So.
And I'm glad you're showing that. See the branding on the DE89? That's the Edwin Jagger crest.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that that's there is because about kind of when wet shaving exploded, 5 or 6 years ago, and there were lots of knockoffs coming out of India, and there was a retailer out there that said that they produced a razor in partnership with Edwin Jagger, which was decidedly 100% untrue.
Yeah.
But so one of the things Edwin Jagger did to separate themselves from the knockoffs was they added that branding there, and then they added, we've always had the branding on the collar, but they added the branding on the base, and
Oh,
yeah, right
and
here.
changed the base. So I got out one of those old razors. Here we go. So this is the base on the new razors, and this is the base on the old razors. See how they're different? This
Yeah.
black razor was manufactured before 2011, and then these are all new.
That's kind of a way to kind of date. People have that.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
excellent.
So
Very nice.
when you mentioned Edwin Jagger, you said that you kind of described it as the best, in the luxury shaving grooming department. What would you say makes you guys the best in your opinion?
You know what? That's a great question. And so Edwin Jagger is the only grooming / wet shaving company in the world who designs, manufactures. Well, first of all, let me back up. Edwin Jagger, Neil Edwin Jagger is the sole owner of Edwin Jagger. It's family owned and operated. The dog goes to work with him every day. He's not in the factory every day, but he's working every day, and he's on the factory floor a lot. So it's the only company who designs, manufactures, owns the factory, creates the brushes, hand loads the brushes, hand polishes the product, and ships it. It's the only country in the world, or brand in the world that does everything from scratch.
It's beautiful. It's much like the artisan people in wet shaving, but on a larger level.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see that there's that much hands-on.
Right. Yeah. The first time I did, do you guys know what Big Shave West is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first time I did Big Shave West, there were some guys that came up to me and they had seen Edwin Jagger, just the brand, and they thought it was like a huge monster global company. And they're like, what are you doing here? I'm like, no, we're little. We're in 40 countries, but we're not a ginormous manufacturer. I mean, the production is limited. Production time is scheduled out 3 and 4 months.
Yeah, you just have great distribution.
Right.
Yeah.
So like during that process, I was watching a video on YouTube. I think maybe one of the only ones from that Neil was on was Edwin Jagger on the channel on YouTube. And I mean, you're seeing, like hand polishing. People with white gloves there, every single piece. That attention to detail is just amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And if you see a photograph or a video of Neil Jagger, that's like a unicorn. He does not like to be videoed and photographed.
Sounds awful familiar, doesn't it, Angelo?
I think I've heard of that somewhere.
Yeah.
Not Jason.
He's like, no, you do it.
No.
We do trade shows, and he goes, no, you do it. I'm like, nobody is interested in me. They want to see you.
Sounds very familiar.
That's funny.
As you get poked in the ribs with the stick.
I know. Right? But no, what I thought was funny, and I'm pretty sure this was you, Gail, that thought that I was Jason.
Well, I've never seen him.
Jason must be taller than you, Angelo.
And I confirm nor deny any stature differences whatsoever.
Because I'm like, how you get a visual on somebody even though you've never seen them and you really don't know what they look like? And I went, that's not the visual I had.
I get that a lot.
So
you get
I
a
still
voice.
don't know
You
what
get
he
a
looks
voice
like.
and a face in your head.
Yeah. Like,
You're
really?
like, whoa!
That's it?
I didn't know he was Latino. And
You know,
4'7".
The first time I did a show with Douglas Smythe, we did it on the laptop, and you could see the banner on the right. I'm like, you guys, I can see everything you're saying. And they're like, she's not English. She sounds like she's from Texas. Like, sorry. Sorry to disappoint.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. I love it. Well, Gail, you are definitely amazing.
Well, I don't know about that. But.
You are awesome. So Ken, mostly vintage head shaver, fellow Michigander, fellow Michigan wet shaver, beautiful man, asks, what is Edwin Jagger's most premium razor?
Oh, that's a great question. So, and a lot of people don't know this, there are two collections in the Edwin Jagger offering. One is called the Diffusion, which is use that orange razor. Okay. These razors, along with the DE89, which we all know and love. So this is called the, it's the 36. It's a collection, and there's no description. I just call them the fat guys. And these razors are all available with Mach 3 Fusion and safety razor heads. And you can get them single razors, 2, 3, or 3 and 4 piece sets. But there's another collection called the Premium, that's this. That is the bulbous, that particular collection, that is the bulbous collection, and that's the brushed satin. And it is all handmade. It's all hand finished, one piece at a time. It's absolutely exquisite. And there's the Chatsworth collection.
Yeah,
and that's one of the first razors that Edwin Jagger made, was the Chatsworth. And then that's the bulbous, and there's another collection called the Plaza. They're all beautiful.
Nice. Yeah. The Chatsworth Barley is kind of like on my unicorn list of safety razors I still want to get. It's just a gorgeous handle.
In this bulbous, there's a bulbous lined, and it's really, really hard to make because, so do you know what Waterford crystal is?
Yep.
Okay, so it's just cut crystal. And so if there's an error in that, it can be easily hidden because there's so many cuts. So this razor, this bulbous, is also available in the lined. So all of those lines, the vertical lines, like this line, but they're not as many, is all hand cut. So there's no place to hide a mistake. And that razor is exquisite too.
Wow.
And this collection also comes with in red, maroon, dark green, blue, and gray.
Now, I mean, that's something because there's a lot. It is one thing, like when we talk to probably, any one of us, that when we talk to people that are, wanting to, let's say, convert them, over to wet shaving. And some people will say, well, I have this amount of stock and blades laying around. So something like that handle could be like a good transition piece, or to add, I want to say, a little bit more of an elegance or something, better than the handles that are given to them with like the Mach 3s back there. Kind of, so I mean, for Edwin Jagger to offer something like that, to make, a cartridge razor look good. So,
yeah.
So that's crazy.
And this is it's called a 72 collection.
Okay.
And in all of those two, in every single collection, in the bulbous, that premium, you can get every razor with a Mach 3, a Fusion, or a safety razor head. So that three-piece, or that's a 4-piece set. Is it a 3-piece? That's a 3-piece set.
Okay.
And that set filled with a silver tip brush is probably around $350, $400. If it's a 4-piece set filled with a silver tip, it's about $550.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then it would come in something like this, or like a different kind of
No, it comes in a
packaging?
different box. They have new boxes, and I haven't actually seen them yet. They're more of a hard side box with a magnetic closure. Kind of a flip side box. And then one of the things the way that I explain that, the difference in a piece like that, or actually even a DE89, I said, why, if you're going to shave and drag a razor across your face every day, don't you want something that's beautiful and exquisite and sexy sitting on your countertop? That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Not something you throw in the trash.
Absolutely.
100%. That's why we have dens full of them, and we keep buying more. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
shiny. Angelo's going home with 6 of them, I can tell you right now.
Oh, this whole shelf.
Good.
No,
Good.
yeah,
I'm glad to
definitely,
hear that.
definitely
I'll have to order more.
a DE89, but that, I don't know if Jason has one, but that hunter green, that olive drab green, that has got me written all over it. I love
that's
that.
really pretty.
Yeah,
That's really pretty.
love.
And knowing your wheelhouse for razors, Angelo, a DE89 would be perfect for you. So
Yeah, see, yeah, because I like the mild, the hyper mild kind of thing. I have dabbled in some of it.
I think I've seen that green today. Look at that.
Oh wow, yes,
That's
that
pretty.
color green.
Yeah.
nice.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's like if people that have, a big whatever drawer full of those cartridge blades, and then the handle that they get, because I mean we know always it was always about the blades. It was never about the handle.
Yeah.
Just to add that kind of, just to up that game, that almost like curb appeal for their countertop for their bathroom.
Well, this is the way that I explain it sometimes with a shave brush, is that, and with the razor, it's upping your game. You want a little more luxury, because if you're driving a Ford, but you can afford a Mercedes, why don't you just drive a Ford? Because all it's going to do is get you from A to B.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This, whether it's a cartridge or a Mach 3 or a Fusion, it will accomplish the goal, but this is much more beautiful to have sitting on your counter.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah. Wow.
it's sustainable too.
Yes. Yeah. That's the other thing. That's kind of one of the main reasons why we got into wet shaving, was for that reason. That was our entry level reason, was for sustainability.
But I mean, sometimes you need to just step up your game and have something pretty.
There you go.
Ooh, yeah.
There you go. Who's that by?
This is handmade by Yuri Kravchenko in Ukraine, which is Art Razors.
Wow.
Pretty. Really beautiful.
Oh,
beautiful
wow.
stuff.
Look,
yeah.
That's beautiful.
All hand pounded.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. Would love to see Edwin Jagger do some stuff like that.
Yes.
Really.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. That would probably sell like hotcakes, no doubt. Especially, we were talking earlier about the allure of the Sheffield steel. Well, if somebody brought that Sheffield steel back in the form of real straight razors, that's licensed to print money, because people would go nuts. Because there's it's
Sheffield steel right there.
Oh,
there you go.
Wade and Butcher.
Oh yeah.
Brings back something beautiful like that.
Yeah.
Because as much as wet shaving has exploded in the last 4 to 5 years, straight razor shaving has even exploded more than that, I think. And now it seems that everybody that gets into wet shaving, it's like they start off with DEs, and then probably within a year, most people are already looking at switching over to straights and getting into that side of it too.
There's that allure, and there's that, the extra knowledge, the extra finesse that you have doing something that, that people did 150, 200 years ago. There's that allure once you get into DE shaving, you're like, oh, this is cool. This is like they did in the 50s, and then you keep going back further.
Yeah. Like Carlitos, he said the same thing. I mean, Sheffield steel is probably the benchmark when it comes to steels that's out there. So
that's what it's.
Sheffield, Solingen, German.
Yeah.
Those are the two.
So this is I got kind of the same question from two different people, but this is a good one here. Both Latherhog and also my wife asked this. So do you have any insight on how to bring more women into the world of traditional wet shaving? So I mean, I know it's been kind of a thing. I've had one of the few spoiled where it was my wife that got me into safety razors. So like a market specifically for lady wet shavers.
Again, that is another good question. And I think before COVID, we were really on the upswing with more women getting into wet shaving. So Edwin Jagger made a pink Mach 3 razor and a mint green Mach 3 razor with an extra tall brush to give you some length to whip up a lather on your legs. Most of the time it's women who are partners are wet shavers, shaving with a safety razor. Actually, I can't remember what site I was on yesterday, but you know, when you're looking at a page and these videos pop up, and it was a girl shaving, a young girl shaving with her underarms with a safety razor.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, it was out there, and it was a brand I'd never heard of that I was not familiar with. I'm like, well, great, it's out there. Good.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is gorgeous. I love this. Yeah, I mean, I would not shy from using this at all. But the longer handle, perfect for. I mean, because that's the thing, you know, to reach, you know, the bottom of the legs, the ankles, all stuff like that. But yeah,
That's why that razor's made in pink. And I have people ask me, well, can women use these too? I'm like, honey, it's a razor. It doesn't know what sex you are.
right.
Great answer.
Yeah, I mean, she would, you know, my wife, you know, Crystal, she would more than be happy to use something like this. It's just what she's going to get out of it, you know. Like I said, she uses it, and she was the one to get the straight razor. I mean, the safety razor first, and then, you know, I got into it. But so, I mean, like what Latherhout asked, so like you said, like when you're at a show or something like that, when you're talking to people, so if you were to, let's say, speak to, you know, a crowd of women that just using just only cartridges and water, so, you know, what would you do to say to them, okay, look, this is the way, this is how we're going to, you know, so.
Right. I would just tell them you get a much closer shave. It's sustainable. There are 8 billion cartridges that end up in the landfill every single year. You don't have to shave as often. You get a much closer shave. And, you know, and I kind of talking on about that, using product, using a shave cream on your legs rather than just soap makes a huge difference. And if you can just get someone to try it one time, they're sold. They're in.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is trying to, you know, dispel any fear that they have. You know, people seem to think that, you know, DE razors are like, you know, these super, you know, elite sharp things that would just rip your skin off.
Yeah.
You know, and then once they use it, they go, oh, wait a minute, that's not really that scary.
Right.
But I think it's kind of getting them past that point.
I do recommend a first-time shaver not to use a super sharp blade until they get comfortable with it.
Absolutely.
And that's a great point, Brandon, because I mean, I'm guilty. I thought the same thing too when I first got into it, you know. But then when you think about it pragmatically or logically, it's like it's one blade surrounded by a massive steel. Yeah. But yet, and you're worried about getting hacked to pieces. But then it's like you've got like a naked cartridge razor with like 5 blades on it. They're just all sitting there. It's like logically it doesn't make any sense. But it's just, I guess, the thought, because people think, oh well, that was old tech. We've gone to this new tech, and therefore the new tech must be safer or better or whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
and you know what?
one of the things is the learning to not use pressure. You know, I mean, those dull blades are so crappy that, you know, you can push down, you know, and not really hurt yourself, where, you know, that doesn't really ring true with, you know, with actual good razors.
Right.
So, you know, the one thing is that you have to teach that there's no pressure. You know, you just set it on it and just pull.
Yeah, and
you know,
I just
you don't
say
push
let
down.
the razor do the cutting.
Absolutely.
You don't have to do anything.
Just enough to hold it onto your skin.
Like at a 40-degree angle.
Exactly.
Let me see here. So I want to check if I got anything else.
So
But yeah, I think there's comments in there that ladies, you guys are spoiled because you have a lot more real estate to shave than men do.
Well, you know what? And I'll go back to Big Shave West. I was on a panel there, and somebody asked me, I said, dude, I got a whole lot more geography to shave than you do. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get to enjoy it much longer.
You can shave your legs, Angelo. Nobody will know the difference. You don't tell anybody. It can be your little secret.
Oh,
Well, it depends on if a guy can reach his own back.
That's true.
New product innovation, safety razor on a stick.
That's right.
Oh,
I can barely scratch my own back, let alone
Like
Get
the
it.
selfie sticks that they have for phones. You just
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
great.
That's
Have you seen the 4-inch handle razors? Try the 26-inch handle razor.
that's right. The telescoping handle.
That's right.
So I kind of touched on something that I think you guys were interested in is Edwin Jagger's sustainability program.
Ooh.
Neil Jagger is incredibly acutely aware of his carbon footprint and the company. So the packaging, which is, this is just a package of aftershave lotion, and all the packaging is perfect. Well, you can see that behind you. All the packaging is 80% recycled. And when I first started working with them, it was 50%, and they've gradually increased it over the years.
Nice.
And so when in their packages, when an order ships to a retailer, the packing material inside is recycled. They recycle their shipping boxes, and they have a machine that has just like blades on it that cuts the cardboard so that you can pull it apart like an accordion. And the other thing that they use is peanuts that are made of borax. So you can just put them in the sink and they melt. And I have customers go, I want to melt the peanuts.
You can melt them in that water, and then you could clean the brush out.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ooh, very nice.
Really?
Good.
Like,
Oh, he's
well, I can't find it, but the Zingari Man brush cleaner is boric acid.
Oh, uh-huh.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Melt them
Yeah.
in the water, and then run your shaving brush in there, and you can clean the hair knot.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, you guys know this, is just plain borax from the pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
You've been cleaning stuff with it for decades.
Mm-hmm.
There you
Just
go.
don't get it on your fingers. I did, and it will peel skin.
Oh my
It
God.
makes it so dry.
Ouch.
Sounds like a Canadian winter.
Or Maine.
Or Maine, that's true. You're practically Canada.
Yeah,
Yep.
Sure.
we all are. Carlitos, he asks, has Edwin Jagger reformulated their soaps or cream soaps as of late?
No.
Okay.
I'm just curious. Does he think they have, or
Oh, that was just a question I asked.
no?
I think just because the artisans are always innovating, they're always looking to make their product a little different, a little better, and that kind of goes with sales as well. Every time you come out with a new base, everyone wants to buy it and try it. So
Yeah.
Right. But, a brand like Edwin Jagger, because the company's almost 40 years old now. I've repped various brands, and I had a particular brand that's over 100 years old, and they changed, and they said, we're going to change the formulations. And I went, oh, just don't. I said, they're buying what you have because they like it, and they changed it. And guess what? So, people like Edwin Jagger just the way it is. You may add a fragrance at some point. Added limes and pomegranate a few years ago, and that's really popular. But don't fix it if it's not broken.
because you may break it.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly.
So let's give away these 2 gift cards from Steve Mendel in case he needs to go. So
Steve's a good dude.
yeah, Steve's a really
He
good
is
guy. That's a good guy right there.
very good guy.
I'm gonna have the 2 gents pick those out because there's another special surprise one that Jason is going to be giving away that I would like Gail to pick a number for. So, this is for the first one, $25 gift card to the Razor Company by Steve Mendel. Brandon, pick a number 1 to 48, please.
Well, I like an OG, so I'm going number 1.
There you go.
There you go.
No one ever picks one, so I have to
Right?
do it.
True.
That would be the Sicilian Shaver.
Nice.
You're welcome, buddy.
Nice. Sicilian Shaver, reach out to Steve Mendo for your winnings, sir. Congratulations, my friend.
Nice. Congrats.
Congrats.
Oh, congrats.
I'm thinking of a number, Angelo. I think you know what number it is.
Yep, go ahead.
No, I'm thinking of a number. I think you know what number it is.
Oh, is it 14?
Yes. Of course it's 14.
14.
Of course it's 14.
Gail, if you don't know, 14 is my number.
Oh,
That is-
okay.
yeah,
I knew
because
there had to be something there.
that is one of the references to that is my mental age, according to my wife.
Oh, I thought it was 1 foot 4 inches tall. My bad.
Yeah, no, that's
ouch.
the size of the stool that I always need to carry around. Can't even get anything off the shelves, especially at the grocery
Funny.
store. Whoever designed that idea for the grocery store, don't put oatmeal in that top shelf. Thank you.
Oh, that's funny.
That's why you need Crystal to boost you.
That, and she's taller than me.
Puppies. Puppies.
Well,
Always
it's good. Just take her shopping with you, and you're good.
Great.
Exactly. She married me for a reason, so she can reach everything and hand it to me. Cahoon, 1776.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Nice. Brian, congrats. Let's contact Steve Mendo. Okay, now this is going to be a fun one. Gail, we have 1 to 49, and on behalf of Jason of the Razor Company, a double-edged razor, a DE89, any handle, winner's choice.
Nice.
So they would
Nice.
pick any of the DE89s on the razorcompany.com of their choice. So whether it be like this here, the pink, the black, I mean, there's so many different ones to choose from. But it has to be one of these, one of the variations of the DE89.
Hey, do you have a
So-
rubber coated there? Is that what that was?
Which one?
The rubber coated?
Oh,
Ivory? Was it rubber coated?
yep. It's got like
I love
little-
that razor.
The little lines there.
Yeah. I love
Yeah,
that.
great grip.
Yep.
By the way, that would also be awesome for a lady shaver too, because they're mostly holding it like this.
Right.
It's true.
Or a shower shaver.
Or a shower shaver, because you got good grip there. Nothing a little alum couldn't help either, you know. But anyways, 1 to 49, Gail, go ahead. Pick a
Okay, I'm going the opposite spectrum. I'm going number 49.
Ooh.
number.
Last
And I
but not
have-
least.
Because it always changes. That's the thing. So you guys go ahead, talk amongst yourselves. Hey, Matt, go ahead. Yeah,
Don't
Go ahead. I'll be here a bit.
You're
don't
just
you
waiting
have
until
to
we get back to 49, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, because it keeps fluctuating. 49, 50,
Oh, we
51.
just hit 50.
just the last name on the list, yeah, or second last name.
Okay, so this is going to be. Oh man, this guy. Yeah, I know this guy here. Dewey, Doo 19.
Oh,
Doo-doo.
nice, Dewey! Congratulations, Dewey.
Good job, Doo-doo.
Now this is going to be a question. Is he going to pick out something for him, or is who is his wife? Is it Meg?
Meg.
Is she going to get the pink one and be like, pick the pink one?
If she was smart, she would. Yeah, that's right.
See? But yeah, so
And
congratulations.
she is sharp. She's sharp as a tack. So I think you'd probably be getting the pink one.
Probably I probably got a message already about it, what color that they want. So
Yeah.
but yeah, Doo 1980, Dewey, contact me, Angelo.Amador Jr. You know who I am, and I'm going to need your shipping address, email address, and the color type, which DE89 that you would like off of the razorcompany.com.
And social security number and checking account number.
Great.
Yes, I'm going to need all of that. And do you prefer flour or corn tortillas? I need to know. So
Corn. It's always corn.
It's always corn.
No, I gotta go flour every time.
Yeah?
well, I could. Brandon, go ahead, man. You got another question? Well, I go ahead and do this.
Let's see. any plans on making a more efficient / aggressive razor? Like something with a larger blade gap, you know, say like a Mula R41, something like that.
Again, you know, that's something that Neil wouldn't share with me until it was pretty close to production.
Yeah.
That's just, you know, it's proprietary. He just wouldn't share that with me.
Yeah,
He wouldn't share
fair
that
enough.
with anyone.
But it would be nice to see, you know, kind of all of the things now are kind of in the medium kind of range, mild to medium range. It would be nice to see them have something with a little larger blade gap, a little more positive blade exposure. You know, for the people that have a lot coarser hair, or wait longer, you know, in between shaves. It'd be nice to see something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
making it
Art shaves, and he asked this earlier too in the questions. An adjustable. Yeah.
That's a lot of machining.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
But I mean, I can just imagine, because again, the elegance that would come out of that would just be phenomenal. So
I would love
to
see something with a little positive blade exposure.
Okay.
I think there are a lot of people out there that would lean towards that as well.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Yeah, I think people probably gobble that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something for the medium to medium high aggressiveness type of crowd that I'm kind of learning to get towards. But yeah, there is a big crowd that would be something as far as out there. So
well, he's always interested in what, you know, the scuttlebutt is.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's you know, there's people that's out there because when I Jason, he let me borrow his 316, not this one, but actually his personal one, and I saw it and I felt it, and because I was still new 2 years ago, I didn't know what I was doing, and he's like, try it, just go ahead and try it. Being the enabler that he is, that I love and dear.
I can't believe you were such a new wet shaver. They gave you that.
He's like, go ahead, try it, and I'm like, okay. So I mean, me not knowing anything, I'm like, this is going to be aggressive, dude. This was just smooth sailing for one of the first races that I tried. I didn't get to buy it yet, you know. So, but like I said, it was his, the one that he had, but I haven't got to buy one yet. But he is like, he's like, you know, Edwin Jagger is just elegant. So I just can't get over just everything, the presentation, all of that. So, how does as far as like, you know, what you see, but as far as keeping up in regards to, like, for an example, like something a little bit more aggressive, but like latest trends, things like innovations in the grooming industry. I know you mentioned about some of the software products that are coming, but I mean, keeping, you know, like I said, up with, you know, to see what the market's doing.
Right. I think Edwin Jagger is very aggressive about staying up with technology. And that's a big part of what they do, is inserting that technology in partnership with the old world manufacturing. And, you know, you guys know our little community is wet shaving. And then those manufacturers are, you know, every once in a while I'll hear something over here that Neil doesn't know, but something that's happening in the States. But he has a pretty good pulse on what's going on. And a lot of those manufacturers, they do speak to each other. They're friendly.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to stay relevant in, you know, in something that is evolving as much as things are right now. You know, this is a beautiful time for, you know, for traditional wet shavers. There's so much new stuff coming out right now. It's a fantastic time. It's like the renaissance of wet shaving right now.
Yeah.
It's a really great time to be in this hobby. You know, some people don't see it as a hobby. They just look at it to shave, and then, you know, they're the rest of us.
Well, yeah, the rest of us, it's not even a hobby at this point. It's a lifestyle, right? It's the way of life, right? It's what we do.
Yeah.
It's always looking for something new, always trying to, you know, try something new.
Wet shaving saves you money.
It does.
It may save some people money, but it doesn't me.
Doesn't mean either.
Everybody does want something new. And, you know, I've been in the wholesale industry for 30 years, and that's the first thing they ask is what's new.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like I said, that 316 took almost 3 years to come to market. So, I mean, it's prototype after prototype after prototype. So it's not a short process.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, that's something to be said because, like you said, the R&D that goes into it, you know, the time that it takes. I mean, every intricate detail, it's elegant for a reason.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that's spewing out, you know, products every other day.
Right. It's an exact science for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and that's what it takes when you're, you know, when you're a reputable brand out there. You know, you put out one really bad product and it could have really detrimental effects on you. So it's very smart.
You know,
Right.
Oh, and nobody ever complains about Edwin Jagger. Never.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of the reasons why it's one of the most recommended razors to brand new wearers.
Yep.
There's a reason.
Mercury
Exactly.
34C,
Yeah.
Edwin Jagger DE89. I mean, those are the two.
Yep.
Those are
the
the
Holy
two. Those are
Grail.
what start us on this road.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it speaks for itself, you know, true and true. So DJ has a tremendous comment here. Love that Edwin Jagger, who is an established company, makes time to come on to do an artisan spotlight, talk to the consumers. And we don't see that enough with some of the bigger company that's out there. So, I mean, there's companies out there that we know, and, you know, there's probably guessed by, you know, what the maker of that cartridge on the tip of that handle back there. I'm not going to name names, but I mean, you know, just to be able to put yourself out there and take time to spend with us and with, you know, 40, 50 people on a Friday night.
Oh, I love doing this. This is fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's great to speak to someone that's an educated wet shaver, and you know, you're asking great questions, and you understand the dialogue and the verbiage and the vocabulary. Yeah, one of my biggest accounts in the United States just happens to be down the street, and I go in there on Saturdays a lot of time because it's close enough for me to walk. And I love nothing more than just educating a gentleman on wet shaving. You know, and you don't have to buy a safety razor. You know, there's guys out there who will never move into a safety razor, and that's fine. And actually, speaking of, and I'll say the word Gillette because it's okay. Gillette. So Edwin Jagger is only one of two companies in the world who can use the Gillette logo. And Gillette came to Edwin Jagger and said, because they were buying cartridges just like they were just a regular buyer. They weren't buying them from Gillette. And Gillette said, you know, we want you to buy those cartridges from us, and you can use the logo. It's in the catalog. It's in the Edwin Jagger catalog that we can use the Gillette logo. And one of the things that happened, it significantly dropped the retail price of those razors with those cartridges.
Because you had the connection there.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And Edwin Jagger passed that savings along to the end user.
Nice. Now that's awesome.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, don't take from us, work with us.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's
and the other thing is they are genuine Gillette cartridges. They always have been. They're not cheap cartridges, and they're not, you know, there are other brands out there that are less expensive, but the only cartridges that will fit the Edwin Jagger handles are Gillette.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. At Cahoon, he asked, was the Art of Shaving the other one that was using their stuff?
No.
Well, everything was purchased by Procter and Gamble.
No. I've worked with Art of Shaving before. I've done some private label for them, so I know them well. And no.
Okay. So that's okay. So they're not one of the other
No.
ones that are out there. Okay. Well, you heard it here, folks.
There you go.
Truth be told, you heard it here.
No, I know who they buy their cartridges from, and it is not Gillette.
Oh wow. Heard it here. I love it. I love it. I love it.
We got 40 learned people out there now.
I know. Oh, right.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
It pays to join the Artisan Spotlights.
That's right. You never know what you're going to find out.
Yeah.
Exactly. You
Or
learn.
or go home with. That's the other thing.
It's true.
Let me see here. I don't know if you have this question in front of you, Brandon. I think we kind of touched on it a little bit. Was the future of men's grooming, and I brought Brandon up again because he has tremendous, beautiful hair. So the grooming stuff like you were talking about earlier. The software, as we call it, that's coming out. So are we going to see anything new when it comes to, I know you said about like the pomades, the hair care products, but I mean, any difference as far as like with new entries for like any of the soaps or anything like that? Or even cause I know there's the brushes, and I'm like, again, I'm still learning if there's
Must be
bold.
that clay.
Yeah. So stuff like that like different soaps that are out there or that may be coming or anything?
Not to my knowledge, because everything, for example, the Edwin Jagger Shave Bowl is manufactured specifically to fit the Edwin Jagger soap.
Okay.
And so not to my knowledge, but as far as the future of men's grooming, it's changed so dramatically, even just over the last 5 years. And men, before it was whatever you bought at the grocery store usually. And now there's a significant marketplace for men's grooming products, whether it's Edwin Jagger or any other brand that's really good. Because the guys are not afraid to buy product. I had this, when I had the showroom, men would come in with their wives and it was like a magnet. They would just pull to that Edwin Jagger. It was the only thing in there that was interesting to them. And it was an older gentleman. And I was explaining to him about the shave cream, and you use a great cream and a brush and a lather. And he goes, I just buy what my wife brings home from the grocery store. And I said, let me guess, that's a can. And you push it and foam comes out. And he goes, yep, that's fine. I said, you know what's in that can of foam? I said, in the state of California, if they knew what the ingredients were, it would be illegal. And I said, that's basically goo in there. And so when you depress that, it just stimulates it. And when it comes out, it's mixed with air, and that's what gives it the foam. And it's like one of the, I'm sure there are great brands out there, but it's not good for your skin. It's just not good for your skin.
I don't like to shave with
easy.
propellant.
Yes.
Yeah, me neither.
Propellant, that's the word.
If I can light it on fire, I probably don't want to put it on my face.
That's true. Very true.
That's
Caution
the
around
word I would
flames.
look for. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely like I've heard a lot of people like Peter shaving site, but I mean any one of us too. Like when we say people, if they're kind of getting interested, one of the gateways would be software first. Some people kind of go that route because they might be intimidated about like you said,
absolutely.
Let's get you away from the propellants, the canned goo, get you into a nice brush, nice setup, a bowl, some good software.
Yeah, I mean, and get you something to make those dull 4 or 5 blades not hurt you as bad.
I know, give you some kind of glass.
I was doing the Barrett Jackson show in Phoenix, the car show. I had a real high-end, and I'm a car person, and I had a real high-end perfume store there that I literally talked him into doing that show. And there was a guy across from me, young man, and he had a really super, super heavy beard. And he said, I've been like this since I was like 12. And, he had a 5 o'clock shadow at 2. And so I gave him, and it was a coarse beard too. So I gave him, we have these little samples of shave cream. So that's shave cream, a little tub, and then you turn it around and there's the aftershave. But anyway, so I gave him one of those, this little sample to take home. He came back in because he had never had anybody show him how to shave. And so he just bought, you know, like those throwaway cartridges in the grocery store and soap. He came in the next day and he goes, I thought the guy was going to cry. He's in his early 20s. He said, you literally have changed my life. He said,
awesome.
I had no idea that there was anything out there like this. And I said, well, let's just take it one step at a time. We'll get you a brush and, you know, you move into a safety razor at some point. But I mean, he was so excited. There was something else out there for him that could make his life better.
That's great. I mean, I had a fire red neck for about 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and this is really recent. I have another client, my second largest brick and mortar in Houston. A young guy started working there, and I had to train him over the phone. And he said, you know, we've got the razor bumps, etc. And I said, this is what we're going to do. Buy a safety razor, go over there and get one of those safety razors off the shelf. And I told him, and I said, these are the videos that you want to watch. These on YouTube who have good videos. And he said, oh my gosh. And I met him about 6 weeks later. He said within 5 shaves, his razor burn was gone.
Yeah. Believe it.
That's, I mean, each one of us here, you know, shameless plugs. We're all YouTubers. So shave tubers, shave influencers, as you probably would call them. Now, would we ever see anything like that coming from Edwin Jagger? Like, any type of, say, social media presence, things like that, like YouTube, anything like that?
Well, I have some videos out there. There's one with the one with Neil in the factory. I think there are 2 factory videos. He's really more inclined to let you guys do that. Like when we introduced the 316, we found like 5 influencers all over the country, all over the US. So we got a good demographic and age range. And I'm like, you know, we're going to let you do this. Not Edwin Jagger. That's what you guys are.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Go to the people that already have the followers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
We
sense.
would, all 3 of us would more than be happy to test anything.
Great.
I'll show off that Sheffield straight razor for you.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm pretty sure anybody in the comments would also be more than willing.
Yes. Everybody's willing. And you know, I don't get as many as I used to, but you get these random guys that somehow find me because I'm pretty much on I keep a low profile because it's like about you guys. And somebody will find me and they'll go, I have 24 followers. Can you send me a razor? No, I can't.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the stuff that you guys have as far as like on Instagram, things like that, you know, that presence there. I mean, most of all of us live on this platform, you know, on Instagram. I mean, that's pretty much the ongoing right now. I mean, as you can see, we're doing it right here live on Instagram, this platform here. And yeah, I mean, the stuff that's out there, definitely, yeah, I know you definitely have, you know, my dedication to be doing my part, whatever one of these beauties I'll be walking home with. So,
you know, I'll tell a tattletale on myself. So I usually have a safety razor with me when I'm traveling, and because I am Edwin Jagger USA, that's where I post. And I'll, you know, put it like I was just in Cabo and I took some pictures on the beach with the razor. And so I was in Yosemite and I was on this private tour, like a little van, and there were only like 5 of us. And so I think it was a black diamond laser cut. And so we got out and I set it out and I took some pictures. And so the tour guide, who's an older gentleman, he stood there and looked at me and goes, you know, most people take pictures of their grandchildren. said, I've never seen anybody take a picture of a razor before. And I said, well, this is what I could tell him. And so I got back in the car or the vehicle, and I didn't really want those other people to see what I was doing. So I put the razor, I had taken the cap off for some reason. I don't really know. Or maybe I changed razors. Maybe I had a cap with me and I changed handles or something. I don't know. But anyway, I put it together, and it was like overlooking, what's the big waterfall? Whatever it is, it's the big one. And oh my God, these pictures were great. And I posted one of them, and I just wasn't paying attention really closely to what I was doing because I was worried about that picture. And I start seeing in the comments, oh, they're so stupid. They don't even know how to put a razor together. I put the cap on upside down. I put the base on upside down.
Oh, no.
And all those pictures were great. I'm like, darn, I'm going to have to trash all those pictures.
It's a good excuse.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it,
Delete.
Yeah.
Delete.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. So that's about everything that we got right now. I know it's getting kind of late for some people.
Yeah.
Not for us, because we're going to be up, doing what we do, especially the Discord that we're all.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna put my big sombrero on and go have some cerveza.
Yes.
There you go. Nice.
My-
Nice.
That's all.
Tequila.
Yeah. Tequila, some carnitas, get all of it. Yes. Celebrate. You have my permission, please.
Yes.
No, but yeah, I mean, this just want to double check, make sure I got everybody up to speed, all the questions. Yeah, definitely the biggest buzz that I'm seeing would be the possibilities if there was to be something a little bit more aggressive offering when it comes to a safety razor. And everybody wants to use a Edwin Jagger straight razor if that ever comes to fruition. So
I think the DE89 Plus.
yes,
That'd be a big seller.
Or plus.
Or plus.
yeah,
That's right.
that would be awesome.
This has been a lot of fun. Really, really appreciate you coming on like this.
My
Really
pleasure.
nice to kind of introduce you, number one to us, but
Yeah.
to everyone else as well, to kind of put a face to the USA version of Edwin Jagger. It's
Yeah.
very nice for you to come on and shoot the stuff with us.
Yeah, I apparently committed to this about 3 months ago. I forgot it.
Thank you.
And Jason texted me, goes, "Okay, you on on the 5th?" I said, "For what?" I'm like, I'm there. Sure. Yeah.
The sombrero on. Okay,
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time tonight. It was a pleasure to meet you, Gail.
My pleasure to meet you guys.
all
This
the
was
info.
fun. Thank you for having me.
yes, definitely. Thank you, Brandon, J-Mac. Thank you guys for doing this.
My
Gail,
pleasure.
wow, you are a tremendous lady.
Well,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much. And
I'm just part of your drug right now.
enabled has been achieved.
Oh, yes. Box it up,
But
Crystal. Box up a razor for him.
I know, right? She's already working on it. She's got her handle already picked out already. So.
There you go. I knew it.
Unfortunately, he's walking home.
On. But no, thank you, and on behalf of Jason, also thank you. So we appreciate everything, taking time with us, and thank you everybody. And so just to sum it up real quick, Sicilian Shaver and Cahoon 1776, get a hold of Steve Mendel for your winnings. And Dewey, get a hold of me so we can get your shipping information and your DE89 of choice. So, yeah. Anything else, guys, before we go?
Nope.
Have a great weekend,
All
everyone.
right, thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.
Bye.
All right.